The story began when Alto, a student of Royal Ortigia Magic Academy, is told that he cannot move up a grade due to his inability to summon a familiar. A familiar in the academy is a necessity as it's required for school activities, so a student that has the inability to summon one is pretty rare one and considered a failed student. Alto then encounter his childhood friend Lilia. Fate, she has an extreme crush with Alto, but Alto being the typical dense character does not know anything about it. As Alto ponders as to how and why he cannot summon a familiar, a book suddenly fell in his head. And to his surprise it's a book that teaches you how to summon a familiar, but the book is pretty old and ancient. The failure student was then surprised as the familiar circle responded to his, as this has never happened with other summons before. Shocked Alto cannot believe his eyes as he summoned a being that is far beyond what human can handle, a demon, a horny one named Vermeil. Confused Alto was then pressured as the horny demon lady asked him that he will fulfill any of his wish and command. The student that is in dire need did not succumb to his lust and asked her if she could become his familiar. A failure Alto who cannot summon a tiny familiar for school purposes, then introduced to his teacher the familiar that he summoned. The sensei of course did not believe any of what Alto say, as a human cannot possibly execute a summon of this level. The teacher was then shocked as the familiar crest is in the chest of the summoned lady. The teacher did not have any other choice but to accept Alto's summoned familiar, as the student who cannot summon a tiny beetle, summoned a demon-class familiar. Alto's childhood friend Lilia cannot sit still and watch as the person she loved is being seduced right in front of her eyes. After school Lilia challenges Alto officially, as she wants her to stop the flirtatious way she acts towards Alto. An official student challenge, demand the loser to do whatever the winner desires, no matter how erotic. The battle and the stadium is then set as Lilia summoned a high-class wind spirit. Her most powerful move is then neutralized like a mere breath of fresh air, and she admit her losses. As Lilia lost to Alto, she expects an erotic demand but Alto ended up destroying her wishes as he just wants her to be friends with Vermeil. The episode then ended when Vermeil states that Alto's mana is a mixture of highly potent mana that can control even higher classes of demons. That's the reason why small and weak familiar like Beetle and such do not heed to his summoned. Thank you so much for watching. I'm doing more of this kind of content, so if you enjoyed, why not stick around and subscribe to the channel.